grace of God that we have found a world teacher like you to guide us. In the beginning, I want to ask one thing. From the beginning, we have emphasized upon one thing, that we may read Gita from any language, from any translation, but when chanting, we should emphasize only on the Sanskrit text, because they are the words that have come from the lotus mouth of Bhagavan Krishna, and therefore they are like mantras. And therefore, all this Gita teaching is done through Sanskrit text only as far as the chanting is concerned. For explanation, we use all the languages. With folding hands, I am asking a question. Are we right in giving that emphasis on the Sanskrit original Gita text? That should be clarified by you. Your clarification shall be a great guidance for us.
See, at a time like this, as you said, there has been a pandemic, and second wave, third wave is coming in many countries, and the UN agencies are predicting a mental health pandemic, a suicide pandemic. A massive number of people are committing suicide. For example, in the year 2020, in Japan, more people committed suicide than they died of COVID infections. So when human beings are going through this kind of strife within themselves, there is a challenging situation around us, but when they are going through a strife like this within themselves, in my humble opinion, I don't think we should limit the power and the wisdom of Gita from reaching people simply because of our love for our languages. We may have much love for the language, and there is a science behind the utterance of Sanskrit language, there's no question about it. But I think the understanding, the wisdom and the knowledge of Gita should go to people first. Chanting, because chanting is like converting people culturally into our way of life. I do not think we should impose that. Those who are willing, we should encourage them definitely towards that. But we should not make that compulsory, because it's very, very important this knowledge goes. Why I am saying this is, see, there are many kinds of belief systems, philosophies in the world. But in my opinion, I clearly see this, that for the next generation of people, in India, our way of looking at things is we look at the divine as an empowerment for us, so that we heighten ourselves and function at a higher level. The most important aspect of Krishna's teaching, I am not I myself cannot read or speak Sanskrit, I am an ignorant person. In front of you, you're all scholars. So, I would be restricted by this. So in my opinion, for me, the most significant aspect of Gita is the Vishwarupa Darshana that Krishna bestows on Arjuna. Whatever he spoke, how much ever wisdom was there, still Arjuna went on asking questions, because this is the nature of human mind, it will go on investing in more doubts and more… picking more and more loopholes somewhere. But the moment he shows him who he is in terms of his inclusiveness, how the whole existence is a part of himself, and he is showing this because he also wants to convey to Arjuna and everybody in the world that this is your nature also. If you are willing, if you open up the dimension of your existence, you could experience everything as yourself. For me, that is the only thing that's been my guiding post, that ultimately the word yoga means union. For me, the ultimate expression of yoga is Krishna, because he displayed it. The most crucial aspect of entire teaching is that he is able to show Arjuna that the entire universe, irrespective of plants, animals, this, that, planets, everything is a part of me, because this is the nature of human consciousness. This rising of human consciousness or raising of human consciousness is very, very important, because morals, values, ethics all stand by us when things are going well. When there is crisis or when there is mortality hanging in front of our face, the only and only thing which takes us beyond that is is really human consciousness, which is all-inclusive, and this is what Krishna represents for me. So in that sense, this must reach maximum number of people. Anything that impedes this reach must be taken away. As you said, this online thing has been a miracle, that what you cannot do physically, suddenly now, why if you could reach 10 people physically, now you're reaching 1,000 people online. But this can be multiplied in such a way, if you translate this into 30 different languages in the world, you can reach billions of people, and that is more important for me than sticking to the language. Language has its power, language has its significance, but above all, people understanding there is a universal way to exist is more important for me than the language.